Well, welcome to this week's edition of Mainely Motorsports, and always a pleasure to have Joe Bassett in the house, and a little bit of a track up here for you, or down here. Where are we, up or down?
Over and out.
Over and out. Over and out.
New Ipswich to Biddeford, Maine.
Yeah, so no, always good, and you do a great job with your job at Lee USA Speedway as a general manager of not only your on-track duties, but your off-track duties, which is promoting, the track and anything you can do. You spent time in Augusta, time in Portland, coming up here to do this.
Yep. It's a full-time job, but I love it. I couldn't see myself being anywhere else.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, man, you've been on a whirlwind tour for a year. It was just about this time a year ago, a little bit, maybe a month ago.
It was actually the Portland show last year. I had a bunch of people coming up to me and saying that the Wrens are buying the racetrack, and I'm like, the Wrens aren't buying the racetrack. It's not for sale. And I went back to the office on Monday, and Red and Judy let me know that they were selling the racetrack.
Yeah. So, had no idea what to expect. I mean, I don't know how much you knew of Norm Jr. and Norm III, but it's always scary, like you're settled into a position, new owners come in, not sure if they're going to like you, going to want you, going to let you play ball with them.
I lucked out because part of the deal when they bought the track, they wanted to make sure I was coming with it. So I knew I was all set as far as that goes. I was coming back. It was just a matter of how things were going to go and what changes we're going to make and what changes we're still going to make.
Well, there was a lot of changes, but they didn't really affect you. If they did, it was in a positive manner because they invested money in the racetrack, made the facility, first class. Not that Red and Judy didn't do a great job with it, but they had some working capital to spend, and they spent it.
Yep, they made a bunch of changes that we've slowed down for 2019. With Monadnock coming on board and they're making changes there, but we still have stuff we want to do. We're going to do some work in the pit area, and we'll be moving forward. There'll still be subtle changes throughout the year, but just probably not as drastic as we had last year.
Yeah, we were talking about changes this year. Their changes are they buy racetracks. All they do is buy racetracks. Talking about Kyle Busch, all he does is win. All the Wrens do is buy racetracks, but that ain't really the case. But they have taken ownership of Monadnock, and partial ownership of Claremont.
Yes.
So, which leads me to this whole New Hampshire. I mean, you guys you're all working together. Ben, Weber, the Wrens. I mean, this is a big deal. It's unheard of.
In all the years that I've been racing, and I started right out of high school at Hudson, I never in my wildest dreams would imagine that what's happening in New Hampshire right now would ever happen. To have 5 tracks, have the same set of rules for at least 4 divisions. Star still having their ACT late models and the supers, but late model sportsmen, street stocks, pure stocks, 6-shooters, all the same rules, basic guidelines for payoffs, all on the same page. And then everybody don't wind up going NASCAR. It's incredible.
Yeah, you want to pinch yourself and wake up and say this is a dream, right? But
my goal is to try to have the national champion come out of the state of New Hampshire in the next 2 years.
Yeah, I know, and it's a huge thing. And to think of the track ownerships that has taken place, it changes. Mm-hmm. With Lee, Monadnock, Claremont, not involved in your group, but White Mountain.
Yep.
Just amazing what's going on over in the Granite State, and all positive changes as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like I said, in my wildest dreams, I never thought what's happening in New Hampshire would happen in my lifetime.
No, it's a big deal, and we're looking forward to being a part of it. Love the relationship. We already had a relationship with you.
Absolutely.
But love the relationship with the Wrens. Love the fact that they understand, where they put their efforts for themselves and where not to. We're like, you know what? Just handle it this way. Just let it happen, and they're really good people.
They are. And for me, it's been great because there's so many times that I'll say, how do you want to handle this or what do you want to do? And they'll just say, do it.
Yeah,
if it doesn't work, we'll change it the next time or we'll figure it out. But
no, that's a good feeling to not be micromanaged and be respected in what you do. And like you said, you got a lot of experience, and their hands are full. Monadnock, and then because you want a smooth transition. as a track owner or promoter?
Well, there's a lot of times, especially right now with all the changes going on in Monadnock, that I'll pick up the phone and they're all over at Monadnock, working on the bleachers, working on this, working on that. So I'm staying on my side of the state and getting my stuff done, and we'll be ready for opening day.
No, absolutely, and really looking forward to 2019, the five-track, series deal. We had Bobby Weber on the show last week. He's excited about that. A lot of crazy things are happening, and you guys are like at the center of it.
Yeah, and it's been awesome the way the tracks have interacted, because rules changes and you expect everybody to kind of hold their ground and know that's my division and this is the way I want it. There's been so much give and take, and it's been amazing.
No, absolutely. And we're going to take a break. When we come back with Joe, I want to talk about 2019, and particularly Lee USA Speedway and some of the big things they got happening. And we talk about a track that basically brings just about every tour that tours New England in. That's these guys. So we're going to talk about some of the things they got going on, some of the excitement, the NASCAR affiliation, when they get going, all of it. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back here with Joe Bassett.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. We just had the biggest month in our history. Why? We're selling campers at wholesale to the public, even the 2019s. So what did we do? We went out and bought a bunch more. Up to 40% off travel trailers and fifth wheels, up to 35% off toy haulers, up to 30% off motorhomes. You'll never see these prices again. Over 400 campers to choose from, all at wholesale prices.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a one key. Hi, I'm Jim Broadhurst, owner of eKeys for Cars of Saco. At eKeys for Cars, we'll diagnose your problem over the phone and give you a firm quote. No bait and switch here. Whenever or wherever you're stuck, eKeys for Cars will come to you. Call eKeys for Cars in Saco, the fast, affordable fix for your car key and lock needs.
They raise the bar. eKeys for Cars.
Wiscasset Speedway is back, and we have the cure for your need for speed. Maine's biggest and fastest proudly presents 8 feature divisions, including Pro Stocks, late models, 4-cylinder Pro Stocks, modifieds, and more. Plus special features throughout the season, including the Nell Car Legends, the Wicked Good Vintage Racers, the NEMA Midgets, Enduros, and more. All this fun, all this excitement, all for just $5. Wiscasset Speedway, west on the road, Wiscasset. Online at Facebook and WiscassetSpeedway.com.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
Wiscasset Speedway, Maine's biggest and fastest, with $5 admission every weekend and loads of family fun. Check us out at WiscassetSpeedway.com.
Bentley Saloon, Route 1 in Arundel. Stop by and see why me and my friends say, who has more fun than us? We do.
Well, the 2019 race season is just around the corner. You got a special event to kick the year off. You got 4 weekly divisions: the late models,
yep,
the street stocks, the pure stocks,
and 6 shooters.
6 shooters.
Part of the whole New Hampshire Short Track Racing Association. Not only does all the divisions have the same rules, now they have the same names.
Oh.
So there's no, well, what's an Ironman to a 6-shooter?
Oh.
Claremont changed their Wildcats to Pure Stocks. So they all have the same name, so the fans sitting in the stands can say the same name for each track and not have to say, well, isn't that the same as this track? And it's all, all the confusion's gone.
So you guys have really gone outside the box.
It's been thought out. All the tires are the same from division to division. Same tire rules for the street, the street type tires. Everything's the same. You can just pack up your car and go from Monadnock to Hudson on Sunday morning and go racing. It's
that's awesome. And let's talk about the big event. You got your first event. You're almost gonna start the way you end. Big.
Our first race event. I've wanted to do this for a few years, and Norm and I sat down and we were talking about ACT didn't make sense anymore. It's too early in the year. It's all muddy. We wanted to wait and open up in May and do a 2-day show. So we're opening up with a 2-day show like we end the season with Oktoberfest with a 2-day show. And, we got MRS and Granite State Pro Stocks and NEMA Lights and the NEMA Midgets and Steel Body Sportsmen. So there's 8 divisions coming for the 2 days. And we'll kick off our season for the late model sportsmen that weekend. So they'll start their points race to give them an extra one for their NASCAR points. And see where it goes. Something different, something big, and not just your typical, ACT or going in straight into the season opener.
Yeah, no, that should work. I mean, obviously, the one thing none of us know is weather, but usually by the week before Memorial Day, things are warming up, things are ready, it's time to make stuff happen. And
this year I did for the May Madness like I did for Oktoberfest. I got a 2-hour extension, have 10 hours. So instead of only having a 5-hour window to get the show in, hopefully, if we do have any bad weather, we can adjust things accordingly and get everything in. So that's how you kick it off. Yep. 2 weeks later, you roll into your regular season opener, and the point starts right then. Yep, the point starts May 31st. Now, let's talk about some of the other Tory series. You got Granite State, you got Valente. Obviously, the Ollie Silver Night's a big night. There's fireworks. Ekeys, Ted, big supporter of you guys. There's a few things I'm excited about this year. First of all, NEMA coming back Cup weekend. We have 2 Cup drivers on the hook. We're just waiting for confirmation. They're in. They just have to make all the proper arrangements with the powers to be on their end. So we're bringing NEMA back that weekend, plus the New Hampshire Muscle Car group is coming in, which is 1,700 members strong. So we're going to have their cars on display. So we're hoping to have a nice big show come Cup weekend at Lee. And ISMA this year, I have confirmation from them, there will be double file restarts at the Ollie Silver Classic this year. Nice. Yep. Nice. So that's always a great night. And then, love that night. That's a huge night. And last year, the local guy, the hometown guy, Mikey Ordway Jr., yep. I mean, it couldn't have fallen any better for the track, Yeah. Well, it also fell in great for, second generation super modified driver, and with the awesome trophies you brought down for that weekend, a local boy bringing it home that appreciates the Ollie Silver deal. That's the part about races like that. Understands the history, the heritage, and what that race means. Yeah, when you have a racer from, say, the Midwest or Canada, and it's like, well, I don't really know who Ollie Silver is, but I appreciate the trophy. Yeah. It just means more when a local guy gets it. Yeah, no, absolutely. And, you end the year with Oktoberfest. There's a lot that happens in between the May Madness and Oktoberfest. Yep. And the big thing this year is the Lance Davis race for the street stocks. Going from one 50-lap race to a 3-race Triple Crown deal. They'll start opening night with a 35-lap race. They'll race again July 12th when Valente is in the house, and they'll do another 35-lap race that night, and then the 50-lapper August 16th. So we'll keep a separate points deal for that, and we'll have a crown, Triple Crown for Lance Davis this year, and try to make that bigger and better. Those are pretty special things. When there's I call it a race within a race. You know what I mean? Because there'll be guys that, I can't race every week. My budget doesn't afford it. But they'll show up for something like that, and they'll see how they stack up against. And that's one of the races, even the Lee guys that you don't see week to week all year long, they always make sure that either if they have their car out or in somebody's car to make sure they race that race, because it means a lot to the guys that did race with Lance. Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's awesome. And once again, sounds like a great year. Sounds like a lot of things happening. And I know it's a lot of work. It is, and it's been a long off season, but we're getting there. We're getting ready, and I'm ready to go racing. No, absolutely. We take a break. We come back. I want to hear about some of the sponsors. We've got some moving around, but there's a lot of people that make it happen and help the racetrack. Absolutely. Function. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back here with Joe Bassett.
Legendary race car driver Bentley Warren is putting Arundel on the map. When Bentley's Saloon opened in 2004, it was just a little bar room on the side of the road. Today we have a giant saloon with live music, dancing, and great food and drink indoors and out. We're always looking to meet new friends and have a good old time. There's always something exciting going on at Bentley's. That's why we like to say, who has more fun than us? We do!
For a trusted name in residential and commercial site work in the southern Maine area, call Peter Pettit Excavating. We can handle everything from the complete house lot to those nasty water and sewer line repairs. Septic systems are another area that we specialize in. During the snow season, Pettit Excavating has the equipment to handle any size job.
And when the race season arrives, be sure to follow the number 7 Hewitt's Family Restaurant Chevrolet on the past Super Late Model Tour.
Call 207-282-9305 to get the job done right. That's Peter Pettit Excavating.
Don't deal with just anybody to seal coat your driveway or business this season. Call Black Magic. They bring over 20 years of experience in seal coating and crack filling. Black Magic's skilled team makes sure the job is always done right, on schedule with quality workmanship at a fair price. Protect your investment in your driveway by getting it sealed with Black Magic.
Ooh, Black Magic.
My name is Scott. This is Devin. We're the owners of Black Magic Seal Coating. Let us earn your business today. You'll be glad you did.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Welcome to Mainely Motorsports.
To order a copy of this show, send a check or money order for $15, including shipping and handling to Mainely Motorsports, 2 Main Street, Suite 17-103, Biddeford, Maine, 04005. And please add the show number in the description of the show.
Once again, thank you to Joe Bassett for coming on and driving all the way up from Ipswich, Mass. I can't even say it.
New Ipswich, New Hampshire, not even Ipswich, Mass.
I don't even know. See,
even further, really.
Jeez, I don't even know. Yeah, you can tell I'm struggling with my phone and all. It's just, life's crazy. But, you know, obviously, first and foremost, the Wrens, you know, Advanced Gas, they step up. They make it happen. I mean, they make it happen so much that we're kicking off our season with our Dream Ride Racing team.
Yep.
And they stepped up as a gold level sponsor at a weekend that they don't know if they're going to make money or spend money, but I made them spend more money, and I appreciate it. We're looking forward to what we're doing and thanking you guys for being a part of what we're doing and trying to raise, you know, upwards of $70,000 for the Special Olympics and all that. That's a big deal. Yeah,
it is, and we appreciate what you do and the fact that you're coming to our race for your first one.
Yeah, no, we're excited about it, and you know, but there's other sponsors. I mean, guys that have been with that track for years, and
actually,
you guys stepping up.
The longest sponsor, believe it or not, is E-Keys for Cars. Ted Broadhurst has been there back day one with the McDonald's. He used to actually do the programs and whatnot, and he's been a fixture there for years. And he's coming back with sponsoring the scoreboard and the fireworks, and he's always there for, you know, throw a little bit extra at this race or throw something at that race. He's been a strong supporter of the track. And then the Rod Father will be back with the late model sportsman with not having the supers this year. Jimmy Renfrew decided to do something different this year, so we don't have R&R for that division. So Les stepped up and took over that. We have Race Parts New Hampshire doing the street stocks. And we have O'Reilly Auto Parts on the 6-shooters. I approached them last year and they were all on board, and they came back again this year. And then Mike Marshall with MLM Diagnostic Services. He'll be sponsoring the Pure Stocks again this year, and actually he puts up the money, and we're going to do the 100 lapper again this year, the end of July when we have Whalen Night.
Nice. So, yeah, and there's some familiar names that have been at that track for a few years, and to me that shows continuity. That means you're taking care of business. You're not only doing what you're contractually obligated to do, but you guys do a little bit more. You do the added, the extra. And those are the things that keeps people coming back.
We try to. I mean, I've always looked at it as it's a give and take. We work together. And the guys are great. And then, like I said, when I was talking to Mike Marshall about coming back on the pure stocks, and I asked him about doing the 100 lapper for the late model Sportsman again, he says, I'd love to, but we do it with the fireworks, and it kind of gets lost with the E-Keys for Cars fireworks, and Granite State's there, and Granite State night used to turn into Jimmy Renfrew's night because, you know, young Jimmy racing in that race. So I'm like, you know, that makes total sense. We'll put you in with the Whalen night, so you'll be the headline when Whalen's in the house for the NASCAR sponsorships, and I think it's going to be a good night.
No, that's nice, and that's, yeah, you're not just after the almighty dollar. That's what, you know, people got to understand down there. And, you know, you're running Friday nights. You got a couple of sister tracks under the umbrella now, and, you know, so that's gives you a little more power, but also gives you a little more headache sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm excited this year. We actually brought on, there's 2 Matco Tools Own Your Own Franchise nights that they're going to sponsor, 2 at Lee and 2 at Monadnock. And the top division, they haven't come out with what they're going to do yet, but there'll be tools or a toolkit or something for the top 3 in the late model Sportsman that night.
Nice. No, and we love it. And, you know, we were talking earlier, and, you know, obviously we do the trophies for there. And we love the night that we're allowed to, which I don't know anybody. Well, there is a track that won't take free trophies. But for that's another day for another story. But we love the opportunity when we have our night, and you know, we make the trophies, and it's of no cost to the track because you're a partner of ours, and you know, and the added hats, and you know, the things we do, and just to be a part of what you do, and you know, it's
what's awesome, especially with the relationship you and I have. It's the give and take. You know, I'll do this for you, and I'll do that for you, and next thing you know, there's 6-foot trophies in Victory Lane, and hats and coats, and everybody's happy, and we walk away with smiles on our face.
No, and you know, we loved it. We, you know, obviously, you know, sponsoring the Rookie of the Year program, and then, you know, doing all we did for those guys at the banquet, and they were so appreciative, and you know, and you guys, Norm, yourself, I mean, you get it because it's a tough deal to run a race program on a weekly basis, and there's always something that you're up against. Yeah. So I try to take that out of the equation. Like, one thing you don't have to worry about is Victory Lane apparel, and you know, those items, and the trophies. You know, it's like, you know what's going to be there. You know, I'm not calling you up and saying, what do you need this week? You know.
No, we like I said, we've got a good, pretty good program going that we know in advance what we need, what we don't need, and it's only, I think, one time we sweated out that if there was going to be trophies there.
Oh, they were coming. They were coming. They were in the backseat of Amy's car. She was hustling. But, yeah, so we want to come back again and do that again this year, and I think we'll do it fireworks night. It's a big night. We'll give big hardware, and you know, and we'll make it all about E-Keys. You know, Ted will love that.
That, and I'm sure the Granite State guys will love it too.
Yeah, no, those guys, it's a lot of fun. So we enjoy it. I encourage everybody, go to the website. It's very informative. All the information you need as far as schedule, weekly results, points, all of that. Sponsors, supporters of the track. You know, check them out. Check out Lee. They're going to kick off, you know, a 2-day event in March. I said
May.
March. Jeez.
May Madness.
I'm trying to back things up. Yeah, March was madness. You know,
no, May Madness.
You know, but May Madness, and you know, so I encourage you to check them out then, or check out a Friday night, and you know, the great opportunity to take in a race at Lee USA Speedway when you're a regular track, if you are tied to a track because you race at or a crew member or whatever isn't running, you get a chance to get down to Lee.
Yep.
And Bentley, right? That's still a go. The motorcycle deal.
Motorcycles rides on. I already confirmed with Lisa that it's on their schedule and they'll be there.
No, that's awesome. So another reason to go Ollie Silver Night is count the bikes. I don't know if anybody's ever been able to count them all, right?
Last year they said there was 302. We'll see if that, I believe, I have to take their word for it, but I told them after this it's got to stay in line of 302, 327, 350. It's got to be motor-sizes.
It's got to be motor-sizes, yep. So, well, we can't let you in because we're at a 355. So.
Well, 355 we could let slide. We don't want 356.
No, 355 is going. But no, but once again, Joe, thank you for all you do for motorsports, all you do for us at Mainely Motorsports, and all you do for the racers and the race fans at Lee USA Speedway.
Thank you for what you do for all of us. I mean, it goes hand in hand.
Oh, it's fun. We'll see you in a few weeks. We're kicking our season off at Lee USA Speedway, May Madness. Be a crazy weekend, a lot of racing, a lot of good racing. with tours and your late models, and really,
It's the
really gonna be
tours
fun.
and the first battle of the belt for the mini stocks.
It's all happening.
And wait till you see these belts. $1,500 heavyweight championship belts.
Really?
Norman Ben bought them. Wait till you see.
It'll be crazy.
As Russ Conway would say, tell your friends.
Tell your friends. So we'll be back here on Mainly Motorsports, but like I said, thank you, Joe, for stopping by.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scotch Recreation. We just had the biggest month in our history. Why? We're selling campers at wholesale to the public, even the 2019s. So what did we do? We went out and bought a bunch more. Up to 40% off travel trailers and fifth wheels, up to 35% off toy haulers, up to 30% off motorhomes. You'll never see these prices again. Over 400 campers to choose from, all at wholesale prices.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf. Here at 21st Century Motors, we've been in business since 1972 and we take pride in our work. We have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles that are clean and ready. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. We're experts at getting your car financed, whether you have good, bad, or no credit. We purchase vehicles several times a week, so there's always plenty to choose from. Come on in and make a deal today at 21st Century Motors in Gorham or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Well, welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and we might as well stay right in the state of New Hampshire. And I want to welcome, and a lot of people know who this is, but when they hear the name, they'll say, "Ah," and that's Caitlin Osborne to Mainly Motorsports.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Caitlin is the one that does the Caitlin Osborne short track racing videos, and anybody that's on Facebook has all seen those. And man, something that just started out as fun for you and a little bit of a hobby is really taken off, hasn't it?
Yeah, so I started filming back in 2005 when my brother first, 2004 actually, Thunder Light days, when my brother first started racing cars. And I decided to get a video camera and start recording him because we like to, you know, look back at all my mother's old videos, so might as well watch my brother too.
Yeah.
And then I stopped for a couple of years. He wasn't doing much other than road runners for a while. Wasn't really much competition back then for him, so it wasn't, you know, exciting racing or anything like that. And then he got into a super, and I started doing it then. And the last 3 or 4 years, other people have asked me, you know, hey, can you record this for me? Or hey, can you record that for me? And I love Max Dolliver. I started recording him every week in the Thunder Lights, so, you know, people liked that. And then they wanted the rookies at Hudson, and then I started going to Star and said, hey, why not? You know, might as well. I'm here, and I enjoy doing it, so.
Well, and like we've talked in the past, kind of keeps you calmer there when you've got focusing on, not that it's a job, but it's a job at hand you're trying to do. You know? It is.
A lot of people can't keep focus, and that's the one thing that calmed me down when my brother was in a super, because that used to scare me to death.
Yeah.
He went into the wall with Matt Seavey a couple years ago and took the fence down at Star, and I think I blacked out. I ran so fast down to him, I beat him out of the car down to see if he was okay. And I wasn't recording that night, so I started the next week when he raced again, and I knew I had to stay steady in order to, you know, post the video. I wasn't going to post it if it was a crappy video, so that's how it started.
And then, you know, obviously it's been a godsend for us because we can't be everywhere. So, you know, and it seems like you're everywhere, and you know, whether it's Lee or Star or Hudson, you know, so it allows us to show some other things and some of the classes that, you know, don't get recognition out there, you know, and it's really good. And then, but you knew a lot of people anyway, but it gives you the opportunity to meet even more people because of what you're doing.
It does. I've met a lot of awesome people over the years just because of my videos, you know. A simple, hey, thank you for all you do, you know, it really helps out. You know, a lot of people learn from it. Dan Sweeney is one of them. I didn't know the Sweeneys for a long time, and I think it was his first year in Roadrunners, his mom messaged me and, you know, said how helpful those were. You know, he improves every week because he goes home and watches these videos over and over again, you know.
And it's pretty cool, and it's like you're doing a service, and, you know, and people take it different ways. I take it as a way you're promoting short track racing. You're promoting the product that they're putting on, you know, and it seems like you're at a track, what, 3 or 4 times a week?
At least 3 times a week. Yep, at least 3 times a week. Unless we plan on going to Beach Ridge on a Thursday night, and then that's 4 days a week.
What's the favorite track that you enjoy taping at?
Hands down, Hudson. Hands down, Hudson has always been my favorite and always will be. And I am beyond thrilled that Ben bought it and is doing all this awesome stuff at the track. You know, he's just going above and beyond, you know?
It's crazy to think what that track was 2 years ago.
It used to be, yeah.
To what it is now. And, you know, they're doing a great job with the improvements.
Yeah.
And wanting to do them, you know, wanting it. And then, you know, the big thing is obviously those 5 tracks all getting together.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're right, I'm not saying in the middle of it, but it's in your neck of the woods, so you've heard all the talk.
Yes.
I mean, are the competitors excited? I mean, 5 tracks, NASCAR sanctioned, all working together.
Everybody I've talked to is really looking forward to it. I think we're all very anxious to see how this year is going to go because it's the first year and this has never happened before, you know?
Yeah, to have, you know, obviously Norm Wren, you know, is a big player with, you know, holding 2.5 cards, you know, Ben, you know, Bobby Weber.
Yeah.
You know, the thing I like about it is, you know, within, you know, they're all probably within 10 years old of each other.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, a lot of common interests. Not only at the racetrack and in the racing world, but away from the racetrack. And sometimes I think we all get wrapped up in racing and forget that there is more to life than racing. So I think maybe some of the things that they can talk about and do together away from the racetrack helps the on-track product.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, they have a lot of common interest and, you know that comes into play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then, but the Hudson things, you know, obviously Claremont's, you know, they're there this year. Monadnock, they're making huge improvements, you know, new bleachers.
Down all their stands, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and, but the season's getting ready to kick off. The Bunny Brawl.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Next Saturday.
Are you going to be there filming? Of course, right?
So that's what I mean.
How many races do you think you'll attend this year?
Oh, I'm keeping track.
Are you keeping track this year?
Yes, and it's only middle of April now, and I've already been to 12 races.
12 races.
So, yeah, between ice racing, Richmond, Thompson.
What was Richmond like? I mean, was that...
Absolutely amazing.
You know, facility-wise.
Amazing. Everybody was so friendly there. All the staff was very welcoming. That was my first time ever getting media credentials, and all I had to do was email somebody, and they're like, "Yep, you're on the list. You know, you can just go sign in when you get here." And I could go anywhere I wanted. I was standing in turn 3 on like a 20-foot platform where they film the cup races.
Yeah, well, they'll be filming.
And it was
you know.
amazing. Yeah, well, yeah.
Yep. No, that's awesome, and so exciting, and you know, the feedback you hear from people and the tracks, and you know, it's now you're part of the family. Yeah. When you really think about it, you're part of the Hudson family, the Lee family, Star, Claremont, Monadnock, because of all you do, and then and the racing community. And talk about some of the people you've met, some of the people you didn't know that now you know, that is like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Well, you're one of them. I had no idea who you were.
You had no idea who I was?
You showed to me about the videos,
you
know?
Well, now you know who I am.
You know what you looked like?
The big lug from TV, Nope. Jeez, I didn't expect to be first on the list. I wasn't setting myself up for a little plug, but I'll take it. You know, I'll puff myself up.
I never really knew Norm or Ben. I've known Bobby. I've worked a little bit at Star over the years, helping out with the hauler and stuff. So I already kind of knew him a little bit, you know, besides just being the track owner at Star. But Ben and Norm have been awesome to work with. I had no idea, you know, what down-to-earth people they are, you know.
It's so funny because, you know, I've grown up around Beech Ridge and, you know, Oxford, and, you know, obviously Bob Bear, Michael Liberty, Bill Ryan, you know, Andy Cusack. Business-oriented, even the look is different.
Yeah, yep.
Right, wrong, or indifferent, it's different.
Yep.
Now we have Ben, Norm, Bobby Weber, Chris Michaud. You know, they look like average Joe.
They do.
Honestly.
Never think that
you know, we sit there and we'll go, you know, I'll say to somebody, does that guy look like the guy that owns this place, you know? And I'm complimenting him because that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
He's not setting himself apart.
No.
He's just owns his racetrack and he's enjoying it and he's doing the best he can for, and I love it, you know?
That's what it's all about. That's going to get people in those stands.
Yeah,
you know?
no, you're
having the whole heart into a racetrack. It's
You're
gonna get people in those
absolutely right. You know what I mean? They're not trying to portray somebody they're not.
No.
They didn't. Okay, well now I own a racetrack. I got to do this. No, they're putting the changes where it's going to matter.
Yes.
And they're not worrying about Norm's checkered shorts or Ben's long hair or. Although Weber has calmed down a little bit on the internet, you know what I mean? Sometimes he flies off the handle. But no, I really, I wish.
It's going to be hard to hold back sometimes.
Oh, no, you see it, you know, and it's really, you know, those tracks in New Hampshire are doing something that's unprecedented. And, you know, and you're going to play a more prominent role this year in it. And when we come back from commercial break, I want to talk with Caitlin and have you tell everybody what's going on and how they can follow along with you. They might not be able to see you, but now they got a visual. Now they can hear you. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back here on Mainly Motorsports.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good. It's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle the factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's coworker owners who understand the importance of protecting a valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Servicing differentials is virtually impossible. The confined space makes fill holes difficult to reach, and industry-standard conical bottles are rigid and hard to squeeze. That combination makes for a messy job. Plus, you can't get all of the gear lube out of the bottle, so you have to buy more than you need to complete the job. And engineering your own solution only results in disaster. Not anymore. Introducing the new AMSOIL Easy Pack. Easily access hard-to-service differentials. Easily squeeze out all of the contents. And easily stay clean while you do it. No more leftover fluid or inconvenient rigid bottles. No more trouble reaching difficult fill holes. No more mess. AMSOIL Severe Gear in the new Easy Pack. The solution to all your problems.
Another first from AMSOIL. For a stocking dealer nearest you, call toll-free 877-761-8375 or visit fourseasonsynthetic.com.
Hi, I'm Andy Austin with exciting news about a new division of Beech Ridge Motor Speedway designed to bring new people to weekly racing. Here's series founder Dan Wolf.
Thanks, Andy. Our goal was to create cheap, easy-to-build race cars. Bone stock production cars with a simple 4-point roll cage and proper safety equipment.
We've named them the 21st Century Motors Street Devils. Our 2017 rulebook and schedule are available at beechridge.com and at Street Devils Racing on Facebook.
The future of auto racing has always been street car divisions because of the low cost.
Some folks are building cars and sharing the driving duties. There's even an all-star car to allow celebrities to try out the Street Devil and a 2-seat driver's ed car so you can take a few laps.
Get information about our mentor program, low-cost safety equipment, roll cage kits, and videos on how to build one at Street Devils Racing on Facebook.
So, form a team, build a car, and come join us this summer as we kick off the 21st Century Motors Street Devil Division at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway.
Well, we're back here at Mainly Motorsports, and Caitlin's now been on television, and it's her first time, so anytime you want to come up and talk about what's going on, you know. I know Amy's going to get jealous that somebody's in her seat, and I'm going to hear about it. I'm going to be with her at the banquet tonight. I'm going to hear about all what, you know, she's going to think you're filling her shoes, but you don't have time to do that because iHeartRadio's calling.
Yes. So this is going to be the first year that I'm going to do a racing radio show every Sunday. It's going to be on iHeartRadio, WGIR 610 AM at 11 o'clock every Sunday. It's going to start on May 12th, which is also Mother's Day. How
Perfect.
appropriate.
Yeah, perfect.
Each week we're going to have different segments on each track. We've got all 5 tracks, Star, Lee, Hudson, Monadnock, and Claremont, all on board already. So they'll each have a 5-minute segment on the show. We've got about 6 to 8 commercials right now. So a lot of people have already come on board with, a lot of faith in me.
Well, no, and you'll do fine, Yeah. The fact that you're, they're not, and we have some radio shows out there, and there are people out there, and I've seen them before, and it's like a TV show, trying to put somebody in that seat just because they're a sponsor and they don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You grew up in it, you live it,
Yes.
you love it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
It's just going to come second
it'll do
nature.
all right.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so talk about what we can expect to hear when we tune into the show. Obviously, we're going to hear you.
Yeah. There's going to be driver interviews some weeks. There's going to be, might as well say it, my first co-host on the very first show on May 12th will be Steve Grand, the flag man from Star, Hudson, and Lee. So that'll be, something to break the ice with.
Well,
He's
and
very sociable.
and accountable for you. And
yes.
When I recap my race seasons and I joke about things, and I'll say to myself, some of the coolest things I saw last summer,
Yeah.
One of the coolest things I saw last summer was him on the flag stand at Hudson, with it being about 100 degrees, and making a wardrobe change halfway through the day because his shirt was soaked,
Yep.
and he was like, it was soaked, drenched, stuck to him,
Yep.
and and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool that somebody would think of that.
He is diehard.
You know what I mean? That somebody would think of, let's put a new shirt on him, let's freshen him up, and let's keep him going. So, no, and he's a good guy, and, he always shows up in your Facebook selfies, and so what couldn't ask for a better first person to, kind of break the ice for you, and kiddos, it's going to be, I don't want to say nerve-wracking, but
It's going to be, I don't know what to expect yet, Once I get a couple episodes in me, I'll be okay, but it's the not knowing right now, but I don't fail at anything. Like, I am my worst enemy when it comes to that. I'm going to criticize myself before anybody else does. So,
no, absolutely.
It's going to be good. I'll make sure it's good.
And the fact that you're in a radio setting studio, that those people doing all the technical, are you pushing the buttons, or?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm doing any of that.
No.
They do all the producing and editing and all that. I think I just come in and talk.
Yep.
They add everything in.
Yeah, no, it's funny because we have Dave Stewart who edits the show, and I've told him, and now he'll tell people when they say stuff, and he's like, listen, if we can get him to remember to press the record button, we're good. That's the only thing I have to remember is press the record. I don't know all the technical stuff, so that makes, he knows it, Dave knows it, but that'll make your job easier too, being there and knowing. So, that's exciting, and it's exciting that the tracks are, going to get a little bit more exposure. It's like what we do here. We're giving it more exposure, and anytime somebody flicking through a channel, like, wow, I'm going to check this place Lee out. I didn't realize it was, because it happens all the time. I didn't know there was a racetrack there.
Yep. I just met somebody ice fishing with my son about a month and a half ago. Guy, was out there ice fishing with his buddies. He was from Hudson. And he goes, you go to the racetracks and stuff? He goes, have you seen what they've done at Hudson Speedway? This guy doesn't go to the races. He said he hasn't been to the races in like 20 years, but he's going to check it out this year.
No,
just because of word of mouth, you know?
Yeah.
They see all the improvements, it's really bringing everybody together, having all these tracks come together.
No, absolutely. And then for you to be doing what you're doing, the racing recaps,
and give them more exposure doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And
so,
how about Ted? I mean, I know he's talked about this for years.
Yes.
Now he's found the perfect person, what I consider the perfect person to make this happen, and that's Ted Broadhurst from E-Keys for Cars. And I don't think there's a bigger supporter of New Hampshire short track racing than Ted.
He is everywhere. He is at every track all the time.
On the scoreboard, in the victory lane, on the banners.
On cars.
And then if he can't get the victory lane with a sponsored car that he sponsors, he'll send Chloe to pass the trophies out. So there's something to do with E-Keys in victory lane. So
always.
No, that's huge, and he's got to be excited because I know he's talked about this for a few years. He's wanted this, and he's wanted this.
Yep. He came to me at Star over the summer. I was up recording in my spot on the roof at Star, and he came up to me and he's like, "Hey, I have a proposition for you." He goes, "What would you think about doing a radio show?" And at first, I didn't think that I was going to be the only one doing it. I thought he wanted somebody to do it with. And he goes, "Oh, no." He goes, "This is all you. You know, you do what you want with it, but I love the idea." and I need somebody to do it. You are the perfect person to do this.
Yeah.
You know so many people. You already do the videos at all these tracks. You know, it's
Yep.
very good. You know, it's to have somebody in there that knows
What's going on. Yeah, You're not just, like I said, you're not just paying somebody to do a job because it's their job. You're going to do it. You'd do it if you had to pay him.
Yes,
you know,
I probably
she's not going to pay you, Ted. Trust me. But you know what I mean, because you love it, and that's huge to find somebody in the sport like yourself, like myself, that share the passion of the sport, not because they drive or they own a car or they work on a car or somebody they know races.
Yep.
We share the passion for the sport.
Yep.
I mean, obviously to go to as many races you do,
Yeah, I went to Star Speedway just to watch practice yesterday. I mean, I picked up banners for the radio show, but I didn't have to stick around. I stuck around because there were race cars there. You know, not anybody, in particular that I wanted to see, but it was nice to just be there. Like, I didn't want to leave.
No, it's funny. It's when you get back to the racetrack for that first time. There's like,
it's hard leaving.
Come September or come the end of July sometimes in August, and I'm like, I want a week off. I want a week off. But then it's like, as soon as we get a couple weeks off, as soon as Oktoberfest and the World Series is over, it's like, when's it start again? You know what I mean? And then you're waiting for the ice racing or the off-season shows.
We didn't have very many off weekends this year. We went to Seekonk, then we went to Wall Stadium for the Turkey Derby, and then ice racing started in January. So we had maybe a month off.
Yeah.
And then ice racing went up until 2 weeks before we went to Richmond. So we didn't really have that many weeks where we didn't go to the races.
Now you're at it.
Son.
You're and how cool is it for him? You know what I mean? To live this world through his mom. You know what I mean? That's a big deal. You know what I mean? And I've always said, a great day at a racetrack doesn't have to end up in victory lane. I tell people that all the time. And for you to be able to doing it on a weekly basis and taking your son to Richmond or Wall Stadium or Beech Ridge or Oxford or wherever you're going with your son, making memories, those are the great days. You know what I mean?
Absolutely is. Like, I try to give him the best, it's not always possible, but I mean, I didn't grow up going to all these different racetracks. I mean, we spur of the moment are like, hey, let's go to Beech Ridge tonight, it's like 5 o'clock. We got to leave like now to get up
let's
there
go.
in time,
No, that's awesome. And then, I know as you travel up through the state of Maine this year, and obviously Wiscasset and all that, people now can put that face with that voice and those videos. And I appreciate all you do by allowing us to, take your videos that you use and put them on the show, because it helps us to put a better product out there. And that's what I'm trying to do, and I really, truly appreciate that.
Not a problem at all. We're all doing it for the love of racing.
No,
That's
absolutely.
why I do it too. I do it for all the drivers that enjoy watching the videos and, showing their family members. I mean, I've had people message me from different parts of the country, saying, hey, I watch your videos. I don't live in the state anymore, but I used to go to Star all the time as a kid, and it brings back so many memories. It's what touches me.
No, absolutely. Now we can add to that with a Northeast Racing recap. So I appreciate you taking the time, coming up and visiting with us. You can do it anytime.
No problem.
I better see you in less than 2 weeks at Bentley's, right? You coming? You're going to pack that car up, bring all those people. Just tell them it's a race.
Yes.
Tell them it's a race. But there'll be a lot of racers there, and you guys will have a good time. And the fact that,
racing related will probably be there.
Oh, yeah. No, it is. And the fact that the son can come and not be kicked out because it's a bar, and you're like, oh, you got to go. No, it's a good time.
Everywhere with me. So.
No, I hope you guys can make it. And, I'll introduce you to everybody.
Perfect.
All righty.
Sounds good.
So we're going to take a break. Thank you once again for coming on, and I'm going to be back, and I'll finish up this week's episode of Mainly Motorsports with, I don't know what, but I'll finish it up.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a one key. Hi, I'm Jim Broadhurst, owner of eKeys for Cars of Saco. At eKeys for Cars, we'll diagnose your problem over the phone and give you a firm quote No bait and switch here. Whenever or wherever you're stuck, E-Keys for Cars will come to you. Call E-Keys for Cars in Saco, the fast, affordable fix for your car key and lock needs.
E-Keys, they raise the bar. E-Keys for Cars.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf. Here at 21st Century Motors, we've been in business since 1972 and we take pride in our work. We have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles that are clean and ready. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. We're experts at getting your car financed, whether you have good, bad, or no credit. We purchase vehicles several times a week, so there's always plenty to choose from. Come on in and make a deal today at 21st Century Motors in Gorham or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Wiscasset Speedway is back, and we have the cure for your need for speed. Maine's biggest and fastest proudly presents 8 feature divisions, including Pro Stocks, late models, 4-cylinder Pro Stocks, modifieds, and more. Plus special features throughout the season, including the Nell Car Legends, the Wicked Good Vintage Racers, the NEMA Midgets, Enduros, and more. All this fun, all this excitement, all for just $5. Wiscasset Speedway, west on the road, Wiscasset. Online at Facebook and WiscassetSpeedway.com.
Well, welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and appreciate both Joe and Caitlin making the trek up here and coming on and talking about and promoting what they do. Joe's real excited about 2019, as we are too, with not only Lee USA Speedway, but the Monadnock venture and, you know, their ties with Claremont over there with Ben Brzezowski. And then Caitlin, you know, just doing something she loves has now turned into a passion. Going to be talking about it on the radio, and we really appreciate it. And you'll see a lot of her videos throughout 2019, and we appreciate what she does, and allows us to bring even more valuable race footage and coverage to the viewers and the fans of Mainly Motorsports. And speaking of the fans of Mainly Motorsports, April 25th, Thursday night, Bentley's, 4:30 to 9:30, or starts whenever you show up, it ends whenever you leave, basically. The 3rd annual kickoff to the 2019 race season, put on by Mainly Motorsports TV and Bentley Saloon. Really a great time, and anybody that's been in the past, it's a private party, invitation only. I'm inviting everybody, so I don't know how that works, and hopefully everybody don't show up, but it is what it is. And the nice part about this, and you know, and Caitlin was all excited, her son, who happens to be 14 or 15, can come because it's a private party. You know, it's us basically taking the facility for the night before they actually open. But in saying that, the bar is open, the waitresses are there, the staff handling the food. It's a great night, and you can bring your kids. That's what I'm getting at. You can bring the kids, and they can have a great time and hang out with mom and dad or aunt and uncle, and just be a part of what takes place at Bentley Saloon. So April 25th, any questions, reach out to me via phone, text message, email, or Facebook. And Facebook is probably the easiest way. And we'll be there. A lot of things to be given away. We're going to raise some money for the Hometown Foundation. We'll have some of the Special Olympic athletes there that we're really pounding the pavement hard and looking to raise, like I said, over $70,000 to be able to do what we're doing this year with the Dream Ride Racing Program. We'll have one of the cars in attendance, and as we prepare for our season. But this is the kickoff. Bentley Saloon right there in Arundel, Maine. Not hard to miss. Thursday, April 25th. You've got about a week and a half. So mark your calendars, bring your friends, pack the car up, and just come talk and hang out and talk racing. A lot of racing personalities will be there, a lot of prizes to be given away, a lot of neat things we do. So really excited about it. So hope to see a lot of you there. Any questions, reach out. Come back. We'll be right back, I should say. We'll wrap this week's episode of Mainly Motorsports up. Started it talking about Lee. We're going to finish it talking about Lee. They got a big event coming up May 5th. So we'll talk more about that when we come back from commercial break here on Mainly Motorsports.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle to factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's co-worker owners who understand the importance of protecting your valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is: It's what's inside that matters.
Hi, I'm Andy Austin with exciting news about a new division of Beech Ridge Motor Speedway designed to bring new people to weekly racing. Here's series founder Dan Wolf.
Thanks, Andy. Our goal was to create cheap, easy-to-build race cars. Bone stock production cars with a simple 4-point roll cage and proper safety equipment.
We've named them the 21st Century Motors Street Devils. Our 2017 rulebook and schedule are available at beechridge.com and at Street Devils Racing on Facebook.
The future of auto racing has always been streetcar divisions because of the low cost.
Some folks are building cars and sharing the driving duties. There's even an all-star car to allow celebrities to try out the Street Devil and a 2-seat driver's ed car so you can take a few laps.
Get information about our mentor program, low-cost safety equipment, roll cage kits, and videos on how to build one at Street Devils Racing on Facebook.
So, form a team, build a car, and come join us this summer as we kick off the 21st Century Motors Street Devil Division at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway.
Looking for a great time, great people, and great food? Then visit New England's #1 biker destination, Bentley Saloon, owned by legendary super-modified driver Bentley Warren. Bentley's is a biker bar that welcomes everyone. Staying in the area, Bentley's has their own full-service campground right on site. Tuesdays, Bentley's Cruise Night attracts car enthusiasts from all over New England. Located on Route 1 in Arundel, Bentley Saloon guarantees a great time. Check out the fun at BentleySaloon.com and see why Bentley says, who has more fun than us?
Coming up May 5th over there at Lee USA Speedway, the first annual Rodfather Car Show and Automobile Swap Meet. Last year, Lee didn't do the flea market at the end of the year. They're trying something different this year. And the Rodfather, who's not only a huge supporter of what we do at Mainely Motorsports, but even a bigger supporter of what they do over at Lee USA Speedway, going to put on a car show. First car show of the year down there. And hope they have some race cars on display, but should be a lot of hot rods, a place to barter, buy and sell some race car parts, some street rod parts, just an automotive swap meet, car show. Just should be a lot of fun. And the Rodfather, he'll love it. Heck, he could put his own car show on with his own car inventory, but he'll be walking around. Obviously, Joe, Norm, it's a chance to talk racing, but that's coming up May 5th over there at Lee USA Speedway. And as you're getting ready to shut this episode down or think of what you're going to do this weekend, head over to Star Speedway tonight. The Bunny Brawl. Caitlin will be there. We'll be there. Highlights on next week's episode. All excited about the 2019 season, which is kicking off right here in New England as we speak. So thank you once again to Joe Bassett. Thank you to Caitlin. Support everybody that supports us. Dan Collins had a great post on Facebook this week. Made me realize, all we do behind the scenes that we don't even realize are supporting the people that support us and the racetrack. So I encourage all the viewers and all the race fans out there, support all these local businesses that support local short track racing, local short track television shows like myself, Caitlin's show, and all that everybody does for motorsports. So hope you enjoyed this week's show. We'll see you next time right here on Mainly Motorsports.